Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Geckner with the Front Row Movie Reviews, and this is your weekly box office report with stats from our friends over at boxofficemojo.com. Now this was a week where we saw the top 5 at the box office be exactly the same as the previous week, which means we are starting it off at number 1 with The Hitman's Bodyguard. This comedy brought in another $10.5 million, which brings its US total up to $55 million. And while that's all nice and fun that you got first place for 2 weeks in a row, I kind of think that with this week's release of It, you're probably not going to hold that title for a third week. Coming in at number 2 this week was the horror sequel Annabelle Creation. This Conjuring horror sequel came up with another $7.5 million, which brings its US total up to $89 million. And while there is a big horror film also coming out to compete with it this week, I think that the Horrorpalooza and the upcoming Halloween season gives this an outside shot to become a $100 million horror film, which is an exceedingly rare task. Coming in at number 3 this week is Wind River. It jumped up from the number 4 spot to the number 3 spot with another $6.2 million. This brings its US total up to $14 million. And again, this thing's not really in it for the money, it's going for that Oscar buzz, and the more that this thing continues to get seen, the better its chances come in the next year. Coming in at number 4 this week was what was at number 3 last week, the animated film Leap. This brought in another $4 million, which brings its US total up to $11 million. And trust me when I say that is a terrible haul for an animated film in today's market. And again, as we said last week, the marketing really kind of failed this film, as it's gotten some pretty good cinema scores, but the crowd just isn't there because they just didn't know it existed. And rounding out the top 5 for the second straight week is Steven Soderbergh's Logan Lucky. This brought in another $4.4 million to bring its US total up to $21 million. And again, for a film that has been this critically well received, that total's got to be pretty disappointing for Soderbergh and for everyone involved. I'm Jeremy Geckner. Hey, head on over to the frontrowmoviereviews.com. You can find all the rest of our videos, our podcasts, and everything else that we're doing there. This week, we are very proud. We are going to be releasing our Season 7 recap of the 7th season of Game of Thrones, where we give also some of our predictions for Season 8. We're going to be releasing the next episode of Flashback on the miniseries of Stephen King's It in preparation for the release of the remake coming out this weekend. And then, of course, on Friday, watch for Are You Afraid of the Podcast and Zonasodes. I'm Jeremy Geckner, and as always, we will see you in the front row.